In the previous video, we learned how to prepare the waterproofing and underlayment for a clip system installation. We'll now take a detailed look at how to install the Quality Stone Veneer clip system. We'll be installing one of our thin brick profiles, historic brick, to the bottom of the window, then capping with a sill, and transitioning into our Apilada profile for the remainder of the wall section. One continuous drainage plane will be maintained behind the entire system. We've measured for the distance from the base of the starter strip up to the bottom of the window to figure out our material spacing. Keeping in mind the starter strip is to be held a total of 2 inches minimum above paved surfaces. With our plan in place and our wall section prepped, we are ready to begin the clip system install. Materials should be staged so that multiple boxes can be pulled from throughout the entirety of the installation in order to create a diverse and even blend of coloring. Each stone piece has a groove to accept the corrosion-resistant clips on all sides. For strength and shipment, this groove does not extend to the outside edge of the product. On the first course of stone only, you'll need to use a masonry saw to extend the groove throughout the full length of the bottom of each piece. We'll begin at the outside corner first, working horizontally row by row across the wall. Starting from the right side, set the first corner piece down onto the starter strip, locking the piece into the grooves. Once the corner piece is sitting flush over top the starter strip, add a clip to each leg of the corner and screw into the wall using the corrosion-resistant clip screw. In this case, we have a return, so we'll begin installing to the right, being sure to use 2 clips to the top minimum. Pieces can be cut where required using a miter saw with a vacuum attachment and HEPA filter. A cutting station should be set up in a well-ventilated outdoor area where dust particles can be carried away from all workers. Be sure to use approved hearing, eye, and respiratory protection while cutting. Stone should be cut face down to minimize dust on the face of the product. Where a clip groove is not present, one can be cut on site when required. Polymer modified mortar is a required product used to add a thin bead of mortar between the stone pieces. This gives the next piece a setting bed to sit down into and adds an additional firmness to the product. The mortar also further shadows lines between dry stack styles, removing any indication of a predetermined pattern. Add a thin bead of mortar to the top of the piece, including up the vertical sections. This is an important step that is always required before the next piece can be installed. And the mortar is to be added in front of the clips, not over the clips. Next, we'll set string lines to act as our horizontal and vertical controls. This string line is important to keep rows in plane horizontally and corner sections true vertically. The horizontal string line should be set level in relation to your starter strip. Now, place a bead of cement over the corner sections and place the first large flat down over the starter strip, interlocking with the corners. Note, the base of the starter strip is not to be jointed or caulked in any circumstance. The base of the starter strip is to remain open to allow any moisture to exit out of this space. Attach 2 clips onto the top of the panel, spaced evenly, and 1 onto the offset leg. Continue installing stone across the wall until reaching the opposing termination point. A rubber mallet can be used to gently tap the pieces into place when required. Adjust and level the horizontal string line upwards and begin the next course following these same steps. Now that the brick is installed, we'll be capping the knee wall with a sill. Brick will be jointed during the finishing steps. Chalk lines here are useful to set a level path for the sills to follow. Again, apply a thin mortar setting bed over top the piece to receive the sill and attach the sill over top. Sandstone Lambris sills include a return piece, eliminating the need to make 45-degree cuts where sills continue around corners. Additionally, these accessories are available in 4 colorways to coincide with any project's color scheme. Precast accessories can also be direct applied with mortar and wire lath. This installation practice is most common in areas that receive fixture attachment, such as light or outlet blocks, or areas that may receive contact. Drain mat is a required product that is added between the wall and the wire lath in direct application areas to maintain the continuous drainage plane. With our knee wall in place, we'll install Apilada following the same procedures. Apilada is one of the newest additions to Quality Stone's lineup of clip system styles, which features a modern 3-inch by 26-inch dry stacked band. 2 corners will be installed first again, just as we did with the brick, as the largest flat size will interlock with this height. It's not always pictured in the video, but remember to set a thin bead of mortar to the top of the panel, continuing the mortar up over the stepped offsets on the side. The next piece of installed stone will lock down into this mortar setting bed. This mortar bead should always be placed in front of the clips. As the top of the stone wall is approached, most commonly being a soffit or fiber cement trim, the final pieces of stone can be direct applied to fit the small spacing where a clip and fastener cannot reach. Drain mat, wire, and mortar scratch coat are installed in this space to accept these final pieces. A variety of precast headers are also available, including smooth and rough textured stone lintels, brick accents, and dry stack and cobblestone soldier coursings. With the Apilada installed, we'll begin our finishing process with grouting our brick knee wall. It is recommended to wait 1 week after the product is installed to begin grouting. Spray and soak the first section of brick you're planning to grout with water to improve the mortar bond. Using a polymer modified mortar, begin grouting the horizontals first, followed by the verticals. Focus on grouting and finishing a wall section small enough that can be completed before any mortar curing takes place. Rake the joints immediately, beginning with the vertical joints first and the horizontals second. On clip system styles that require a mortar joint after install, such as cobblestone Lambris or fieldstone Lambris, follow these same principles. Although, as with a traditional mortared stone installation, allow the joints to become thumbprint hard before raking. Stone installation over columns. Clip system stone styles are designed specifically to make column installations easier, faster, and better. Predetermined ideal framing dimensions for columns are referenced in our clip system installation guide for each style. Inside dimensions of corner pieces tooth seamlessly around these specified dimensions with the inclusion of the additional spacing necessary for the clips or the wire and mortar scratch coat depending on the installation type. In this example, we'll install Apilada in a clip system installation over a wood-framed column. Outside framing dimensions of this column are 15 1/4 by 15 1/4 inches. To start out, we have our wood-framed column flashed and watertight with 2 WRB layers capped with ice and water shield. The clip starter strip is installed at the base of the column. We'll follow the same clip system steps here, setting and attaching the corner, placing a thin bead of mortar on the top of the corner in front of the clips, and continuing the process upwards. The majority of clip system styles are also designed to fit standard around a CMU block column in a direct application, with enough spacing for wire and mortar scratch coat. With all the stone in place, the last step is stone finishing. Using polymer modified mortar, apply grout to any remaining brick, stone, and accessories. All clip system packages come standard with a finishing kit. A matching stain corresponding with the colorway of your stone is applied to the stone face textures anywhere desired for color blending, or added to any exposed cut edges of stone. Stain may be sprayed or brush applied. When sprayed, hold the applicator 6 inches back from the face of the stone. A towel can be used to blend into the face when required, and to wipe and remove any drips or running dye. In well-ventilated outdoor areas only, a high-power blower can be used as a final face cleaning to the finished stone. Thanks for joining in with us today. In the final part 3, we'll take a look at procedures for direct applying Lambris products with mortar and wire lath, and how the drainage plane can still be achieved when direct applying over a plywood substrate.